Hello, hello. We are live. Just dropping in a little spontaneously to share with my wonderful community what the heck is Reiki, since it is the basis of the intuitive healing and guidance that I offer. So I'm really excited to just drop in here on this wonderful Sunday, the day after our clocks have changed, and share with you about what Reiki is, how it has helped me, and how it is a very specific story of how it's helped a client of mine. And then if you're curious to learn more, an opportunity for you to sample Reiki and intuitive healing with me. So I'm just going to first drop in the chat a little link. SVP. Next, Reiki. Sound bath. Sweet. Yeah, so if what I'm speaking to intrigues you, you can drop in. Okay, cool. So we're going to dive in because I'm going to post this so you can all watch it and learn as it feels comfortable to you, as you feel called. So my intention with yesterday's new moon was very, very simple. It was, okay, I'm going to reground in this original intention of healing work, of moving more love in the world. Like, that is what healing is about. That is what energy healing is about, spiritual healing, all these different terms of that are used for what I do. And Reiki, which is the type of energy healing I am trained in, is really love. That is what Reiki is. Now, that can seem very broad and vague, so I'll give you a little bit more details. So what Reiki is it is actually a Japanese term that is defined literally as spiritual healing energy. So this spiritual healing energy is something that a practitioner like myself trains in and is attuned to this energy. So I can channel it through my energy centers and then share it with either myself or my clients, as well as also communities and the planet and all over the world. And what it's used for is healing holistically any wounds you have. Holistically meaning it can heal your physical wounds, your spiritual wounds, your emotional wounds, or your mental wounds. We all come into this world with not just our own stories from past lives, but also ancestral wounds. So there's all of us have healing to do is the point of that. And it's a lifelong journey. And that can feel daunting. But having a practice like Reiki, which is a beautiful, gentle healing energy, really helps to ground us in our healing journey and know that with each step, we're actually becoming more powerful, we're becoming more loving, we're more in tune with ourselves, we're gaining more clarity on ourselves, our life, our purpose, our relationships, everything. So I use Reiki daily for myself to clear my energy, to charge my energy, to protect my energy, to cleanse my food, to cleanse my space. If I stub my toe, I use Reiki. If I'm crying, I allow the Reiki to help me release. So rather than continuing to suppress or repress feelings, we let them out. I've used Reiki to awaken my intuition, to connect deeper to my higher self. So I use Reiki to connect my clients to their higher intuition. I've used Reiki to help process a lot of my past trauma. So if we haven't met before, if you don't know about my story, I have dealt with abandonment, abuse, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, a lot of relationship things, a lot of those standard things as well. And Reiki has helped me and continues to help me process what's happened on my healing journey. And so that is why I also use it to help my clients process what's happened for them. And it can be a number of different stories or programs that they've experienced. And I encourage them and use Reiki to actually awaken their healing power. So Reiki doesn't do the healing for you. And I, as the channel of Reiki, don't do the healing for you. I channel it and share Reiki so it ignites your intuitive healing power for you to learn how to heal yourself. And in doing that, we cultivate deeper compassion for our stories, for our family, for our ancestry, and deeper self-love. And in doing that, we're able to actually manifest the life we want. Like, I used to live very victim mindset, very like day-to-day, moment to moment in okay, what's the next thing I can do that just makes me feel better, looking for external sources. But with Reiki, I dropped in and realized, wait a minute, this is actually about me finding love within. And in finding that love within, by clearing out the old stories, I can internally manifest and call in the good relationships, the confidence, the job, the career I want. Like even doing what I do now as an intuitive healer and guider, or intuitive healer and guide, was part of my Reiki journey. So that's what Reiki is: spiritual healing energy that helps you heal wounds, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or energetic. And it's gentle, and I channel it and can send it to you no matter where you are. So Reiki, because it's spiritual, defies time and space, which is a very physical construct. We can quantum leap with Reiki, with energy healing, which is so awesome. So I see clients all over the world virtually, and Reiki is so powerful that I've been doing this now for over 2 years, and it's still working, still helping, which is so awesome. So that's why I love doing it and using it, and just coming back to that intention of moving more love into the world, which is what Reiki is for. So now I want to share with you a little bit more of a tangible story of how Reiki has helped a client of mine. So this client originally came to me very specifically with a block in their solar plexus chakra. And so if you're not familiar with the chakra system is an energetic, is a system that talks about the energetics throughout our being, and it takes into account the physical, the mental, emotional, and the spiritual. And there are different chakras, energy centers throughout our being that govern different parts of our existence. So the solar plexus, which is right here, the diaphragm area, is represented by the color yellow, like the sun. And very much like the sun, the element is fire. It has to do with our action, with our trust in what we can do, our like self-worth, our confidence, our strength. I like to think of it as like a fire that's burning inside that keeps us warm and lit up and energized. Doesn't burn ourselves, doesn't burn anyone else, but actually inspires others to turn on their fire, to come sit with you around your fire and be like, hey, can you teach me how you did that? Which is such a beautiful way to like just visualize that feeling. So I had a client who came to me and was like, hey, I very like much feel something here in this area. Like, what is this? And we realized, okay, like it's your solar plexus chakra. This is your area of like your confidence and that self-worth. So let's use Reiki to feel into that and go back in time and find out where this block came from. So another tool I use in my healing work very regularly is inner child healing. And so inner child healing takes us back to tack in time to our younger selves, a lot of times our very young selves, hence the term inner child healing, and helps us meet with ourselves when we were first met with that trauma or that block or that belief system. So using Reiki helps us get into that theta state, that meditative state, to meet our inner children, to quantum leap time and go back and meet ourselves where that block happened. So with this client, sat down virtually, used Reiki, dropped them in, and then they traveled back to a time which actually wasn't even super young. They were in like their late teens, early 20s. And there was a very visual, visceral moment where they sat with their younger selves, and their younger selves was crying and just so defeated and was hurting themselves and not taking care of themselves. It was very emotional. But with Reiki and that safe container and the way that I've been trained and that I guide, and as someone who's experienced a lot of trauma themselves, knowing how to do it very empathetically and safely, my client was able to sit with their younger selves and talk to them and let them be seen and heard, and let them know like it's okay, that they are worth it, that they don't have to still feel this way anymore, that we're learning, that they're learning now how to feel worthy and to love themselves and to know that they have everything they need in here to light their own fire. I'm getting chills as I'm talking about this because I'm going back to it. Because also when you give Reiki, especially when you're an empath like myself, like I'll feel what you're feeling. So I might cry for you or feel your sore throat if you've got blocks up here. Anyway, so it was really beautiful. And this was, by the way, in our first one-on-one session together. and we've been working together since, and it's been so powerful. But they came out of the visualization and had so much clarity, and were like, oh my God, like, here I am now wanting to feel more confident and trust myself and know I deserve better relationships and a career that I love and all these things. But I haven't tended to this younger version of me that's still hurting. And so by taking that time to sit with that younger person, to use Reiki, in doing so, they were able to get this clarity and realize, oh, this is what I need to do. And so then we sat together and co-created like a healing path, a healing journey. And they had more understanding and more compassion and self-love. And since then, I've seen this client grow in their self-love and compassion for people that they used to like really get triggered by, like bad relationships they had. Now they see the compassion of why these other people hurt people. So it's really, that's what goes back to my original intention of sharing love, of moving more love in the world and using Reiki. So if you're curious, if you're like, well, this sounds really awesome, like how do I try this? I'd love to invite you to a community event that I'm co-hosting next Monday, March 22nd. And it's actually this same community event that the client I was just telling you about and I first connected about their solar plexus chakra. So it's a Reiki sound bath. So what happens is, which is awesome now that we used to do them in person, but now obviously with COVID, they're virtual. But my friend and I, she's a sound healer, Shanila Satar, we virtually get together. We virtually invite people all over the world, and you get to come in from the comfort of your home and receive Reiki energy healing. You get to receive guided meditation. You get to receive sound healing. We also do like journal prompts and oracle card pools, and it's just this beautiful way of honoring what you need in your healing journey. And it helps you awaken that intuitive healing power. You can even do like some trauma healing in these community shorter events. But I love inviting people to do that. So that way you get a taste of how I also do the guidance and get to receive in that way. So if you are free and you'd love to join us, the link to join is in my bio. So hop on over. I'll also be working with the spring equinox energy, which is super awesome. The spring equinox happens on March 20th, and it is all about new beginnings, rebirth, fertility, renewal. So would love to have you there. Would love to share Reiki with you. And of course, if you have any questions, just shoot me a DM. And sending you all so much love. I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. Mwah.